Before I get into today's video, I draw attention to the disclaimer at the start, which states that nothing I say should be taken seriously. This video is an opinion piece. Nothing I'm saying is being given across as fact. I'm exercising my right to free speech under Article 10 of the Human Rights Act. So, the biggest issue in Britain among the electorate is immigration, both legal and illegal. And I want to state nothing I'm saying is about race. Skin colour has nothing to do with anything in this video. It's about culture or lack thereof. Because the UK, Ireland and mainland Europe are, in my opinion, being flooded with people whose cultures simply do not align with Western standards and values. Be it Islamists who, for reasons best known to them, want to move to a Christian country and carry out what, in my opinion, is a 7th century death cult, or people from sub-Saharan Africa, where, if we take a country like Ghana, the average IQ is 64. In the Western world, anyone with an IQ below 70 is clinically retarded. A gorilla has an IQ of 80 to 85. So we have radical Islam and the extremely stupid. Often the two get combined. What on earth could go wrong?
Ça tombe bien, je suis chrétienne.
Ah ouais?
Bah ouais.
So that young woman is being hassled by a Muslim gentleman who I'm led to believe is also an illegal immigrant, complaining that she hasn't got her hair covered and that she's wearing a crucifix, which reminds me. A woman in France, a Christian country, wearing a crucifix. And that bastard feels okay to approach her in the street shows just how fucking entitled these people are. And one of the main issues with the men who come here, often illegally, is that their cultures simply don't even understand the concept of respecting women. And I know right now there'll be some fucking progressive in the comments saying, well, some British men treat women badly as well. Yes, I know. There are bad eggs from every community. But this particular community, the chaps who come here on small boats, they seem to really have a problem with women.
Like a woman, find a good husband, you walk porn on the street, you seek our generation.
Can you leave first,
Yes,
please?
I can talk, I can speak not of husband. I talk in the name of God. Yes, I'm sure. I love woman, I love
Name of God.
Sure.
Like I said, in the UK, we've got evil bastards who mistreat women, so we don't need to start importing more of them. And that clip we just saw, there are loads of them. These creepy bastards that don't know how to interact with women. And shockingly, this is a fun video, isn't it? The latest statistics show that in the UK, a quarter of sex attacks are now carried out by migrants. And that's without counting the second and third generations who've been born here. And we know there's one particular community who are really into young white girls. And there was a story in the news about the police having to go to a migrant hotel. So by definition, all the inhabitants are criminals, illegal immigrant, the clue is in the name, to explain to these young men, because they're mostly fighting age young men, that in the UK, if a woman or a girl doesn't have her hair covered or she's wearing a skirt, it's still illegal to rape them. How would they not know that? Do these people not even understand the concept of consent? And if they don't, why can't we fuck them off? And the woke mob will say, well, they're coming here illegally because they're fleeing war. They aren't fleeing war. What conflict is it where all the young men leave so that the fighting can be done by the women, children and the elderly? Not only that, but they aren't fleeing from their own country. They're coming from France. Crucially, France isn't at war. Because if it was, the French would have surrendered by now. And I'll say something which most UK politicians don't seem to be able to comprehend. Stop the benefits, you stop the boats. Don't put them up in luxury hotels. As soon as they get here, lock them up and deport them. Don't give them iPhones with the numbers of human rights lawyers already fucking stored in them. And as for our useless fucktard of a Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, the day he got in, he scrapped the Rwanda scheme. He got rid of the one main deterrent. And for the last few years, followers of the religion of peace have been getting more and more militant. Men pray in the streets, even though there's no need for them to. In my opinion, it's a show of force. They're showing what they can get away with because they know the police and the politicians are fucking terrified to intervene. And recently I've noticed more and more Muslim women wearing the full gear, wearing the niqab. As far as I'm aware, there's nothing in the Quran that says a woman has to cover her face or look like a Pac-Man ghost going through a goth phase. They're happy to scream their own religion, but object when a Christian does it in this Christian country.
Go on camera again. You can go camera again. You can go camera again. You're on camera. And I'm going to post it. And you're going to see yourself. Because the way you've acted is immature. We could have had a great conversation. We could have had a great conversation. We could have had a great conversation. Yeah, I'll put it here. I'll put it here. We could have had a great conversation, but you guys were the ones who turned it to this. You turned it to this. Now keep it on them. They're getting aggressive. Talk about they're going to harm me. You're not going to harm me. You're not going to do anything. That's what he said earlier. That's what he said earlier. You're going to harm me. You're not going to do anything. You need to relax. You need to relax. You need to relax. We all need to
The woman saying, put me on camera again. What's the point, love, unless you've got clearly identifiable eyes? Now, for decades, the British have welcomed people in. We are so tolerant. We're so fucking accepting. Yes, you can come to the UK and practice your religion. But now that the UK has a growing Muslim population, which grows every day by the young men who come in off the Kent coast, they're starting to assert dominance. And as we saw there, the Christian chap wanted a conversation. The Muslim woman wanted an argument. So that was one of the women. Now let's meet one of the men.
Humans without the guidance of Islam are worse than animals. Because at least a dog will know that there is one creator. But me and you, if we didn't have Islam, subhanallah. Kuffar, what they get up to because they don't have Islam is crazy. So please use this as a reminder to be grateful and say alhamdulillah that you have Islam. Because guess who doesn't have Islam? The kuffar. And what do? They eat the blood of a...
A dog knows that there's only one creator. Are monotheistic religions big in the canine world? And who doesn't have Islam? Happy people who are much less likely to explode. But there we have it, openly saying that non-Muslims to him, to that gentleman, are essentially subhuman. We cannot keep letting people like that into this country. They openly hate us and have no intention of integrating. So how do the boat people react when they see someone else's religion? So the big question is, were those gentlemen doctors or engineers? Because back in the early days of multiculturalism, we were told that's what we were getting, not feral morons. The thing is, if you draw a picture of the Prophet Muhammad, who by all accounts was a slave trading warlord as well as being a child abuser, they'll issue a fucking fatwa against you. But if the boat people want to vandalise a statue of the Madonna, the Virgin Mary, oh, that's fine. And I've had to cut that video short. The reason it's so blurry is that at the end, they piss over the statue. But I guarantee when those fuckers get to the UK, they'll be put up in a 5-star hotel, and within an hour or two, will be working illegally for a subsidiary of Uber Eats or Deliveroo. Allegedly. Like I said, it's not about race, it's about culture, and clearly those cultures are not compatible with the Western world. Why do we, in the civilised Western world, or rather what is to be gained by flooding our countries with mentally subnormal, religious fanatical rapists? And as for the countries who won't take their people back, that's very easy to fix as well. Stop their foreign aid. Britain every year gives Pakistan £133 million. So if they want to keep seeing that money, they can take their child abusers back. For me, there is only one solution, and my God, there have been few jokes in this video. For the people of the USA, the UK, France, Spain and Portugal, we need to get our fucking empires back. And it wouldn't have to be too expensive. For some of the countries the illegals are coming from, the Brits could rock up again with redcoats and muskets because technologically they'd still be more advanced than many of those countries. Anyway, that's the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, and fuck knows why you would have done, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you leave a like, a comment or share the video, that really helps the algorithm. If you'd like to support me in making these videos, there's a link in the description to buy me a coffee and to my Patreon. And as ever, thanks for watching. If you got this far, well done. Now, it's not that I'm anti-immigration. I'm all for people who want to come to this country and work. But for the people who come to the country and either don't want to work or move to Britain because they hate the British, fuck, she says, put the camera back on me. What for, love? That's what we've got of you. It's like you look... Oh, don't say that. No, can't say that. A dog knows there's only one creator. Sir, I put it to you, you do not know that. Unless you can communicate with the animals, Dr. fucking Doolittle. Doolittle, that's probably quite accurate. Oh, good start, Dan. Well done. It wouldn't have to be that costly. I think if the British... it wouldn't have to be that costly. I think if the British rocked up with red coats and Lee Enfield 303s... Muskets first, then the Lee Enfield... Oh, fucking bollocks.